You've probably heard that fat is bad. It clogs your arteries, pads your waistline, and haunts your dreams at night. But hold the salad dressing, because here's the scoop. Fat is not your enemy. In fact, your body needs fat. It's fuel for energy, helps absorb essential vitamins, and honestly, your brain is basically a fat sponge. It's about 60% fat. No offense, Einstein. So why the decades-long fat phobia? Blame the 90s. Grocery shelves were flooded with fat-free and low-fat everything. Cookies, yogurt, even salad dressing. Take out the fat, they said. It's healthy, they said. But spoiler alert, when you take out fat, something has to go in. Enter added sugars and refined carbs, the sneaky saboteurs. Sure, the label says low fat, but it might as well say now with more empty calories. Now let's talk fats you actually need to know. Saturated, unsaturated, and that sketchy cousin no one invites anymore. Trans fat. Trans fats are like the villain in a nutrition drama. No nutritional value, no redeeming qualities, just greasy betrayal. You'll find them lurking in fried foods, packaged snacks, baked goods that stay fresh for months. In fact, they were so bad, even the FDA said no thanks. In 2015, they declared that partially hydrogenated oils, aka the main source of trans fats, are not generally recognized as safe. Food companies were told to pack up their trans fats and move out by 2018. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization said, let's go global with this fat ban, aiming to wipe out trans fats worldwide by 2023. Ambitious? Sure. Necessary? Absolutely. But now to the real stars of the fat family, saturated and unsaturated fat. Instead of cutting all fat, it's smarter to understand these two. Saturated fats are typically solid at room temperature. Think butter, cheese, and red meat. Too much can raise your LDL. That's the lousy cholesterol. Unsaturated fats, on the other hand, are the good guys. Found in olive oil, avocados, nuts, and fatty fish, they help lower bad cholesterol and raise the good kind. So next time someone says avoid fat, tell them, I pick my fats like I pick my friends, unsaturated, heart-healthy, and drama-free. What is saturated fat? So what is saturated fat? Imagine tiny fat molecules at a dance party, packed shoulder to shoulder, stiff and unmoving. That's saturated fat for you. Tightly packed, no double bonds, no room to boogie. As a result, most of them are solid at room temperature. Think butter that stares back at you from the fridge like, yeah, I'm not melting anytime soon. You'll find saturated fats in all the greatest hits of comfort food. Juicy cuts of beef and lamb. Some pork and poultry products. Full-fat dairy, cream, whole milk, butter, cheese, aka the dairy royalty. Coconut and palm oils, the tropical troublemakers. Now, here's where things get a little slippery. The saturated fat debate has been going on longer than your favorite sitcom reruns. Is it bad for your heart? Should we avoid it? Should we invite it to dinner once in a while? Some research says yes, saturated fat raises LDL, the bad cholesterol, and increases inflammation, both classic villains in the heart disease story. But other studies? They shrug and say, maybe it's not that bad. A 2014 review looked at 32 studies involving more than 650,000 people. That's enough to fill 7 Super Bowls, and found no clear link between saturated fat intake and heart disease. The researchers even suggested that current dietary guidelines might be due for a makeover. But wait, plot twist. Other studies still point to a risk. So what gives? Well, here's the takeaway. Saturated fat is just one slice of the pie, and what really matters is your overall eating pattern and lifestyle. If you're downing bacon cheeseburgers daily while binge-watching reality TV, it's not just the saturated fat you should worry about. Also worth noting, grass-fed beef may be a gentler option on your cholesterol than the grain-fed stuff. Why? It's leaner, and cows raised on salad instead of cereal might just make better beef for your heart. Bottom line, yes, the average American diet is too high in saturated fat. But don't panic. Focus on balance, variety, and maybe don't treat butter like a food group. What is unsaturated fat? Now, let's talk about the cooler, more flexible cousin in the fat family, unsaturated fat. Unlike their stiff, tightly packed saturated relatives, unsaturated fats are loose and laid back. At room temperature, they're usually liquid, kind of like the smooth jazz of the nutrition world. There are two main types of unsaturated fats, and both are basically VIPs at the healthy eating party. 1. Monounsaturated fats, the chill, plant-based heroes. These guys are heart-friendly and come with a body of research to prove it. Studies say that munching on monounsaturated fats can help lower your risk of cardiovascular disease and even boost your chances of living longer, which is great news if you were hoping to stick around for dessert. Top sources include olive oil, a Mediterranean diet celebrity; peanut oil; avocados, toast's best friend; most nuts and seeds, aka nature's vending machine. 2. Polyunsaturated fats, the team players your body actually needs. Your body needs polyunsaturated fats. It literally can't function without them. These fats help with muscle movement and blood clotting. Your body doesn't produce them on its own, so your diet needs to do the heavy lifting. Polyunsaturated fats are split into two MVPs, omega-3s and omega-6. Omega-3 fatty acids, the overachievers. They help reduce inflammation, lower the risk of heart disease, and might even improve mood. Basically, omega-3s are like yoga for your blood vessels. Best sources include fatty fish, sardines, salmon, mackerel, basically anything that swims with purpose. Ground flaxseed and flaxseed oil. Soybeans. Oysters, if you're feeling fancy. Walnuts, chia seeds, hemp seeds, sunflower seeds. Omega-6 fatty acids, the controversial cousins. Now, omega-6s are a bit of a hot topic. You do need them, but most Americans get way too much. While omega-3s calm things down, omega-6s, in excess, can crank up inflammation like a toddler with a drum set. Overloading on omega-6 rich foods, think processed oils and snacks, might raise your risk of obesity and other chronic conditions. So, balance is key. Omega-6s shouldn't run the show. Let's talk about omega-6 fatty acids, the kind you've probably consumed today without even trying. You'll find them in canola oil, safflower oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, walnut oil, corn oil. Basically, if it comes in a plastic bottle and you cook with it, there's a solid chance it's packing omega-6s. Now, here's the tricky part. Omega-6s aren't evil. Your body needs them. But like any high school drama, too much of one character throws the whole story out of balance. Most of us are swimming in omega-6s while forgetting all about their peaceful counterpart, omega-3s. That imbalance can lead to more inflammation, which could raise your risk of chronic diseases. So, is saturated fat actually the villain in this story? Well, according to Harvard Medical School, the evidence against saturated fat isn't as strong as we once thought. Some recent research suggests there's not enough proof to say that saturated fat directly causes heart disease. But, and this is a big but, a 2017 study found that replacing saturated fat with polyunsaturated fats, like omega-3s and healthy omega-6s, can lower your risk of heart disease. Just don't make the rookie mistake of swapping saturated fat for sugar and processed carbs. That's like trading a flat tire for an engine fire. So, which oils are actually good for you? Let's take a moment to address the oil-aisle confusion. Yes, canola oil is technically unsaturated. No, that doesn't make it a superhero. Highly refined oils like canola and soybean oil often lose nutrients during processing, and some studies even suggest they might have negative health effects when consumed in excess. We're still repeatedly heating vegetable oils, that pan you use 4 times this week, can break down their antioxidants and increase free radical production, which is basically your body's way of saying, please stop frying everything. How much fat should you actually eat? Okay, so we've met the fats. Some are heroes, some are questionable side characters. But here's the million-dollar question. How much fat should you actually eat? Because sadly, as much as my heart desires isn't on the official guidelines. Let's get real. Your body needs fat. It's essential for energy, vitamin absorption, hormone production, and let's be honest, fat makes food taste amazing. But like all great things, vacation days, Wi-Fi, coffee, it's all about moderation. According to the American Heart Association, you should keep saturated fat to less than 6% of your daily calories. For the math nerds, on a 2,000-calorie diet, that's around 120 calories from saturated fat, or roughly 11 to 13 grams per day. So yes, enjoy your cheese or a small slab of steak, but don't treat it like a food group. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Despite the old low-fat everything craze, modern research shows that higher-fat diets can actually be good for you if you choose the right fats. Diets like the Mediterranean diet, rich in olive oil, nuts, and fish, and certain low-carb, higher-fat diets have been linked to better heart health, brain function, and even weight control. The takeaway? There's no one-size-fits-all answer. Your energy needs, genetics, and lifestyle are the real stars of the show. So don't obsess over the numbers. Focus on quality fats, a balanced plate, and maybe skip that third deep-fried donut. How to keep your fat game strong but smart. So, now that we've solved the fat mystery, kind of like nutrition's version of a crime drama, how do you actually make sure your fat intake stays balanced? Well, first off, eating the right fats can do a lot more than just keep you from getting hangry between meals. We're talking about benefits like feeling full longer, aka not raiding your fridge at midnight, maintaining a healthy weight without counting every almond, improving your blood lipid levels, translation, better cholesterol equals happier heart. But remember, not all fats are created equal. Some are like VIP guests at your wellness party. Others? More like that one friend who never leaves. Fat swap table, aka the glow-up chart. Common fats, healthier swaps, margarine, olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, ice cream, and sugary frostings. Unsweetened yogurt, whole or low fat. Chocolate milk, the full-fat sugar bomb. Avocados, yes again. Fried foods, unsweetened coconut, pro tip, toasted. Vegetable shortening, olives. Packaged snacks, chips, cookies. Nuts, seeds, nut butters. Refined vegetable oils like canola. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, trout. High-fat processed snacks. Whole eggs, chia, and hemp seeds. And hey, before cheese lovers riot, yes, things like cheese and butter can still have a seat at the table. Just don't give them a VIP pass to every meal. They're calorie-rich, so portion control is key. Fat cooking pro tips, because we're not just eating. We're chef ing. High heat, go for avocado oil or extra virgin olive oil. These fats can handle the heat without turning toxic. Flavor only? Use oils like walnut or flaxseed oil after cooking. They're delicate and deserve to be pampered. Smart shopping, smarter eating. Read labels like a detective, especially on reduced fat foods. When fat is removed, sugar often crashes the party. Your best bet? Fill your cart with whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense foods. Think veggies, fruits, lean proteins, and yes, healthy fats. And if it comes in a shiny wrapper and has 37 ingredients you can't pronounce, maybe put it back. The bottom line on fat, no, it's not a cliffhanger. All right, here's the bottom line. And don't worry, it's not another fat-free myth. Healthy eating doesn't mean saying goodbye to flavor, texture, and your beloved avocado toast. In fact, a truly nutritious diet starts with whole foods, loaded with healthy fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, eggs, and olive oil. These foods aren't just delicious. They're doing real work behind the scenes to keep your body fueled and functioning. But let's keep it real. Calories still count. Even the good fats can tip the scale if you're eating like every meal is your last supper. Overeating any macronutrient, even healthy fat, can lead to weight gain, and that can increase your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and the dreaded pants that don't button anymore syndrome. So what's the play? Eat fat. Eat the right kinds. And don't go overboard. Fat isn't the enemy. It's more like that loyal friend who's great to have around. Just maybe not 12 times a day. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe for more no-nonsense health content, and drop a comment telling us your favorite healthy fat. Team Avocado. Anyone?